She just had me lay on my stomach over a ball and then just rips my pants down. Pants all the way below the cheeks. So I thought, okay, what have I gotten myself into here? And she was feeling around, right by the tailbone in there. And she was saying, this is so tight. You must be in so much pain. It was so validating. But at the same time, somebody is
humiliating,
pushing their thumbs on either side of my beehole, going, oh, this is really tight. Pottery class officially over, Jeff. I have completed my 4-week course.
And you actually every week got better.
Yes. I brought in pieces from the first week to show you. You thought that this one looked pretty impressive.
Well, it does. In fact, if you're looking at it, it looks amazing until
you flip it up, and then you can see the inside of it is.
I can see through.
Yeah, it's a little cracked.
Yeah,
but okay, that's why you want a fat bottom. Fat bottoms are good in pottery because you got to trim them down and stuff like that. So that one not so good, and then this other one, good bottom.
Yeah.
Just a little misshapen. It's a little misshapen. You can tell how it fit my hand.
Yeah. Put your hands around it like you showed me earlier because it does. It totally. There you go.
See,
that's Rachel's hands.
It perfectly fits my hands. I made this with my own 2 little hands. It's not exactly a work of art, but this was week 1. My pieces have gotten a lot better. I just haven't got them dried, trimmed, and glazed yet. So I can prove that I've done a little better. I'm going to give you something, Jeff. I'm picking out your colors. The colors,
really?
the glaze colors. I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's all experimental. It might suck.
I'm getting a gift.
I'm gonna make one for you.
Why can't I just take the one that you have there that looks like a wave?
Well, this one sucks. I want you to have something better.
All right. Go have something better. Okay.
Yes. So if people will remember, I issued you a craft challenge. We're gonna get to that later.
This is where we're gonna start.
No, we're gonna end with the craft challenge. But
great.
I just wanted to preview that. I highly recommend getting into pottery. I really love this, Jeff.
Did you?
It's a lot of good life lessons.
We had that question about habits or something you wanted to. Could this become your new habit?
This new hobby for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's something that makes me uncomfortable over and over again, which I think is good for adults because I'll tell you what, it is real devastating when I do something wrong. So, okay, once you make something, you wait for it to dry out a little bit until it's called leather hard and then you can trim it. It's just the level of hardness it gets to. I know.
My 13-year-old mind is
leather hard. Anyways, mine were all ready to trim. They cleaned the studio right before we come in for our class, so I set them down on the wheel itself, and then I went to move the pedal.
No.
And hit the pedal, and it spun all of my pieces all around the bin.
Did it break them?
No, they were leather hard, but it put a bunch of jagged marks all over them and made them uneven. That was embarrassing and really, really hard for me to accept of like, okay, this thing has happened and now my nice cups are
not so nice,
but they could still be trimmed. I ended up making one that there's marks on it. I'm going to say they kind of look like a mountain range. This is my artistic interpretation of my fault. So it's good to remember you're not going to be good at everything. It's very humbling to do something like that and then have to trim it down, and it was all jagged, and everybody else, theirs was easy and mine wasn't because I didn't have a smooth surface to work with, and I was knocking it off, and I was ready. My mind was not positive. I was ready to quit. I hated pottery. I was never doing it again. There's too many steps. You got to throw the thing. You got to trim the thing. You got to glaze the thing, and it's got to be fired at least twice. So like, there's so many steps that things can go wrong. And I had to step back and remember, we can do hard things. Nobody knows how to do anything the first time. There's going to be a lot of mistakes.
This is true.
And at the end of the day, it's a piece of mud that I have formed into a shit. Like,
yeah, exactly. You still
truly
have like even the wave. I'm telling you, you keep saying it's the one that's messed up, but you were able to create something out of that. So
it is something.
Kudos.
It is something.
Yeah,
just qualify as that
something.
But I'm getting better. I've got a few things that I want to make, like for the holidays for people. I'm already kind of planning ahead of some things that I think I can figure out by then. But I'm going to continue to take classes and practice and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to practice some more today.
I'm proud of you. I really am. I'm proud of you.
I highly recommend if you want a new hobby, you need to stay present. At least give pottery a shot.
A shot.
I think it's fun, even if you don't want to stick with it like I do. I just think it's a lot of fun, and it's very therapeutic. It requires you to stay present because, as you can tell, you stop paying attention for 1 second to the pressure on your hand and things go sideways, very literally. So that's my pottery recap.
I'm serious. You did a great job.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
You have to say that because I'm going to make you something. So start.
No, I don't. Seriously, I've given you nothing but crap on air and even on our podcast.
Okay.
But personally, I've texted you every time I've seen
you did
and told you how good it looks.
You made a cup.
Right.
You made a bowl.
And I'm like, hey, you did awesome.
I'm making plates now too. So a lot of things I'm working on, but I really loved pottery. If somebody's in the metro, they're looking for a good studio, I went to Preacher Pottery. Highly recommend.
Shameless plug.
That I think they've earned it. The instructors were great. She remains encouraging. She keeps it. Some of your biggest mistakes can be your best pieces of art, is what she said when she saw this thing. And I thought, oh, okay, that's very positive. Thank you, Lena.
You know, honestly, you keep slamming at that. I could definitely see that being like your key jar.
Yes, it's a trinket dish.
Yeah.
I don't know what else
Dish,
it could
jar,
be. Yeah, whatever. Yep, that's what we're going with. Okay, Jeff, that's my pottery recap. Did you have anything that you want to discuss before we move on? I know that I told you to write down something, and that's on my list too, but I feel it's kind of bearing the lead. I didn't want to start there.
Okay, well, we'll get to that then in just... Do you want to get there now, or you want to wait one more?
I don't know. You got something else that you wanted to bring up?
The only thing I wanted to do is, you know how there's a really big trend right now about having ChatGPT roast your picture?
Yes.
So I did this for our picture. Do you want to hear some of the responses?
Okay, go ahead. First describe the picture.
Okay, the picture is you and I under the bridge when we did our little photo shoot, and we're sitting next to each other. I think we're
just sitting or making funny faces. We just smiling.
No, we're just. It was a good pic. I think it's actually our Facebook profile pic. Maybe.
Okay. Yep. I think that's the one.
So that's the pic, and here's what we got. Y'all look like you just started a podcast called Mild Takes and Medium Energy.
That's not entirely inaccurate of this podcast.
Jeff is dressed like he's coaching a 7th grade flag football team. Rachel's ready for brunch with Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that sweater making me look trendy, I guess, Coach.
Again, these are roasts that you can get ChatGPT to do on your pics. So for us, it says, this pic screams, we only argue about gas station snacks and drive-through etiquette. I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. And we agree on those things.
Yeah. Are y'all promoting a show or about to open a quirky downtown art gallery with free popcorn?
I'm good either way.
Just 2 more and then we'll wrap this up, okay? Why does this photo look like the thumbnail for a Hallmark movie called Love Under the Overpass?
Okay, that's pretty good.
And finally, Rachel's giving influencer energy. Jeff's giving dad who wandered into the shot. Really? That bad?
It's not that bad, Jeff. It's not that bad. That's not fair.
What you doing over here? Now I feel like one of those progressive commercials, becoming your parents' crap.
See, this is why I use Please with ChatGPT. I can't have them roast me that bad.
All right, we got to get to what we hid for a little bit.
All right, this is kind of bearing the lead, and I'm not entirely sure how to get into this. Other than, I think I've discussed it on here before. I just kind of have some chronic back pain, so I have some visits for the occupational therapist. Recently started seeing a physical therapist because I got problems with my hips going out of place.
Now wait. Let's give everybody a little bit of backstory, too. Now, when Rachel was a lot younger, she fell down some stairs.
Yeah, 13. I slipped down 3 stairs. It made my tailbone crooked.
Yes.
So that's part of these chronic issues, which is why, pelvis, everything's related. Tailbone, pelvis. There's a lot going on down there. I recently noticed a symptom where my cramps were hurting in a weird place.
Yeah, where you sit.
Yeah, well... It's where the poo comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Specifically, it's not just the butt. It's the
butt.
It's the beehole.
Yeah.
Specifically. So that was a weird thing. So I was like, well, that's right by my tailbone. Surely these things have to be related. That's not a pain you normally have.
Hang on, this story gets so good. So you tell your physical therapist.
Yeah. She's a olderish woman, probably in her 60s. Or she's done this a long time, longer than I've been alive. So I love her. She's amazing, incredibly sweet, so helpful. However, because she's doing it so long, there's no warning about anything. She just had me lay on my stomach over a ball and then just rips my pants down. Pants all the way below the cheeks, and then underwear below the cheeks. And no warning whatsoever.
Hello.
I'm getting sort of used to this, but she's never pulled them down that far before.
Right.
So I thought, okay, what have I gotten myself into here? And she was feeling around, right by the tailbone in there, and she was saying, this is so tight. You must be in so much pain. It was so validating. But at the same time, somebody is
humiliating,
pushing their thumbs on either side of my beehole, going, "Oh, this is really tight."
This is none of this is made up.
That's not great. Okay, so the solution for that, you may be wondering, for tightness, you can do an ultrasound. It's not to look in things like when you have a baby or something. It does loosen. It's vibrations that loosen muscles. So
she hears. No, I'm kidding.
Well, the gel did go on. You gotta get the gel on there so it slides nice and it helps with the electricity too. All that stuff. You gotta lube it up.
The scary thing is that the ultrasound really worked for you.
It did. It was very effective.
Even though it was bizarre.
However, when ultrasounding that area in particular, things are slipping and sliding. There are orifices. Like I said, I don't even know how to get into it. But you also don't want to tighten up, because if you tighten up too much, she's in there working. You don't want to disturb the work.
Right.
And I can feel that it's loosening up so many things. I'm feeling muscle pain relief, and then concerns about it was slipping and sliding, Jeff. It wasn't great. So after the ultrasound, feeling a lot better, but then she needed to check further down. So she actually has to spread the butt cheeks open and then take her hands on both sides and push into my sit bones to check the tightness of those as well. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to hold it here and I need you to take a deep breath.
Oh my God. None of this, I kid you not, none of this is made up.
No, it was quite the experience. I was going to go for a run afterwards. Then when I was getting out of the car, I was like, oh, it's a little...
Yeah, there's a little...
Still a little sloshy back
there. Need to wipe some more. Okay, but...
It feels much better. I do think she's located the problem, but this is why it's taken so long.
I'm happy that you're getting relief. I don't know that we need a play-by-play from here on.
No, now that we kind of know what the standard's going to be for fixing this problem. But years of pain, Jeff. No wonder nobody found it.
But I want you to grab that phone because we got to share that text thread. Do you still have it?
Oh, I do have the text thread from my friends.
Yes.
So this kind of information is great dinner conversation for girls' night. So I did tell Beth. Jessica didn't happen to make it to girls' night that week. But... we were discussing okay, that's all well and good. Glad it feels better. But what happens? How do you keep this stretched out? What's the home version of this? Because you can't do it to yourself. So she did show me some stretches. They're not weird, just for the record.
Okay, thank goodness.
But in my friend's case, they're trying to help me out. Very helpful. I got to find this. Here's the exact text from Beth. Jess, I'm going to need your assistance in crafting a butt with a butthole. And then creating an instructional video for Rachael on how to relieve the tension in her interior butt with an ultrasound wand.
Uh-huh.
On a not unrelated note, it's been an interesting girls' night. Jessica's response, first of all, heck yes.
Oh my gosh. No
Count me in.
That is a true friend right there.
That is the first.
No hesitation.
Second, I cannot wait to hear the context behind this. You guys are the only people I'd make a butthole with. I fully trust there's a good reason for this.
And you see her reading from her phone right there. This
My
is
friends
legit.
are the best. They're going to craft me a butt with a butthole and make an instructional video for me, which I think could go viral. I think it's going to be good stuff. This kind of wraps back around to the crafting thing because, again, experienced crafting, you never know what this group is going to come up with that we need to find a solution for.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pose this to you as a craft question. How would you make a butt? How would you start with that? Because I had an initial thought of okay, if I'm going to craft a butt, I think I know the materials that I'd start with.
See, this is why I'm not looking forward to this because, first of all, no.
My thought was you could do it out of paper mache, maybe.
Well, okay, paper
you
mache.
You'd need some sort of metal structure to put your paper mache on, but I feel like you could get the humps.
You could use balloons. That's what we did.
Balloons
so when we paper
mached
the Mickey Mouse head that I had to wear back in grade school when I was Mickey Mouse, we used a big balloon to Yeah.
Did it look like a butt?
No. But I'm sure if you
but
get
it could look like a
if
butt.
you use smaller balloons, you could probably get 2 cushions.
Get them nice
there.
and round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, you got ideas. Don't act like you don't have craft ideas, Jeff. The balloons could work.
Oh my gosh. This is cracking me
You
up.
want in on this? I can put you in on the text thread. You can help craft a butt with a butthole and make the instructional video.
Yeah. And we got to be listening to Sir Mix-a-Lot while we're building this thing, right?
Of course.
Because,
Yeah. Big butt, baby got back. I can make a whole
Right.
playlist. There's a lot of songs about butts.
it's true.
Fat bottom girls.
Fat bottom girls. Yeah.
Queen shout out. Okay. Well, speaking of crafts, Jeff,
Are we there already?
I think we're there.
Okay, hang on. I'm putting this off as long as I can. Can I ask one more thing?
Okay. Yeah, you can ask one more.
Do you? I'll bring this up because I do here, and I mean, it's almost like engineering and I have almost gotten into arguments over this, and it's pathetic. It's petty hills that you'll die on.
Okay.
Toilet paper goes over. Every toilet paper here, I change to over. Somehow, when they run out, somebody puts it under. This is a hill I'll die. Why do you put it under?
I'm also an over. I always say it's biblical. We're above and not beneath. That's
Thank
just
you.
how, this is how
Thank
we do
you.
it. However, my grandma was over at my house and she came out of the bathroom and said, I am so proud of you. She said it so sincerely. I was like, oh, why? And she said, you have your toilet paper the right way. Turns out, no, it was not. My dad had gone in there and flipped it around on me because that's the way he was raised.
Oh.
It was such a betrayal. I was so excited to make my grandma proud. And it turns out I completely disagree with her on this stance. Because again, I think we've talked about this before, getting toilet paper in the dark. It comes off better if it's off the top.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just,
Thank you.
It doesn't work as good off the back.
No.
No.
I know this wasn't other than just a quick fill, but I was just like, we got into it again this past week. And when I say get in, we're not really arguing, but it's become one of those funny things. It's like, can't you guys just put it over?
I'll die on this hill with you and I'll keep flipping them back the other way.
And this is why you and I get along so well.
Until I bring back this crap
Here
challenge.
we go, the craft challenge.
Well,
thing.
I think I just called it a crap challenge, which it might end up being that as
might
well.
be, if I'm doing it, it very well could be.
I want you to know I picked out these things. I have picked a medium that neither one of us is very familiar with.
Yay, can't wait for this.
I have tried using this method once and these materials suck, but I think that's going to be part of the fun. These are 2 containers of air dry clay.
Okay.
It's just different colors of clay in there, but it's got different tools. Includes 20 dry clays, 20 googly eyes, 4 clay tools, and 1 glitter shaker. We're going to have to form things out. I'm going to show the camera. We're forming things out. You can make whatever you want. This is an open assignment. Use your imagination. Make whatever you want out of these 20 clay packets of various colors. You already, okay. Well, don't tell me I want.
No, I'm not.
It to be a surprise.
It'll probably be the only one I can do. But so this has to be. We have to have this ready by next week. Is what
This
you're
is
saying?
a full week. Yes, you have a full week to complete this assignment. There's a lot of colors to choose from. You can really let your imagination go wild on this.
Can I ask the grandkids for help?
No. You can receive no help on this project. No Janet, no grandkids. We're going to know if you did it, Jeff.
How about Bailey?
Or you're opening it now? Oh, I thought you were opening the packets. Yeah. No Bailey. Well, you could use it. You could put a paw print on there or something if you were designing something maybe. So, yeah. I mean, think about your audience. I feel like the rules... You have a week to do it. I'm not going to tell you how many pieces. All of that's totally up to you. I'm going to say you can use other things from around the house. Like if you wanted I need a fork. That would make the perfect mark in this clay. Pull out a fork. Use whatever tools you want to from around the home. I feel like that's fair enough because you might need some extra help with that. And then next week, we might have a special guest.
That's true.
A very special guest.
That's true.
And if her schedule allows, we're going to have her judge these.
Wait, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes. We're going to...
Now
the pressure's on.
No. Oh,
she's a big deal. So she comes in. We're going to have her judge her. Either way, all the listeners are going to have to vote on them as well because we need feedback on this. But let your imagination run wild, Jeff. You can do all sorts of stuff with this air clay. Yeah?
Do I have to come up with 20?
No. Make as many pieces. It can be one big piece.
Okay.
It can be several little pieces if you wanted to create a whole world or something. Okay. I don't know what you're doing.
All right.
No requirements on how many, but you should have all of the tools that you need because there's 20 different colors in here. And it even has a color mixing chart on there that'll tell you if you want to get a different color. What's
the scary thing that's in here too?
What?
That almost looks like a poo knife. Have you seen that?
No, no.
Yeah, that's what it's what it looks like.
I've only known about this because we've read about it for our show.
Yeah.
But well, okay, then I bought you a bonus poo knife if you need it. You can use it for that too. It's multi-purpose.
Gross!
Please wait till after you're done with the craft.
Yeah, that's disgusting. You are sick.
I'm excited about this. It's going to be a disaster.
So
Air
excited.
clay
Can you
sucks.
see on my face just how excited I am?
It's so difficult to work with. So that should be very frustrating for both of us. And
Where
fun.
did you get that?
Five Below. I spent a full $12 on these, so I want you to treat them with respect.
So are you 6? Is that what you were telling me?
No, I won't make you pay for this since I forced you
already
into
are
it.
making me,
I'll cover the
you
tab.
are already making me pay for this.
In other ways. I'm making you pay in other ways. All right. Are you ready for our Tell Me
Yes, please.
More
If we can get out of
cards?
this craft challenge thing.
I really hope we have a guest next week.
Oh, I hope we don't.
Let's see. When was a recent moment in which you felt deeply happy?
Oh, that's easy. My son's wedding.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one.
My son and my new daughter-in-law. Oh my gosh, just amazing people in my little speech, because it really wasn't a toast. Well, maybe it was a toast. I just talked about how they're such good kids, good people. So much so that, and I think it's cool as a parent to be able to say this, that they inspire you to be a better person. You know what I mean? I said that in my speech to them, and it's just overflowing joy. Yeah.
Aw.
See, I actually had an answer this time.
And right off the top of your head, I'm impressed. It's a little more difficult for me. All of the moment, I can't remember a specific one recently, maybe, but just like realizing that I have time with family and friends and that there's a lot of people around me that love me. It's normally in like a mundane moment where I'm just kind of watching everybody have dinner or play a game. I was over at Beth's last weekend and we were just kind of planting stuff outside. The kids were playing. It was just like a slice of life that like, this is we won't forever have these moments. People don't stay around forever, whether they pass away or they leave a friendship or they move to another place. Of course, kids are always growing. It's just to take a moment and just appreciate that it's just it's a nice day, sun shining, everybody's happy, kids are laughing. You're there with your loved ones. That's a truly happy moment.
Well, and that's why I'm such a big proponent. And you've heard me say this over and over and over. I'm cool with pics and vids and all that kind of stuff. But it's so important to be in that moment, so much more than trying to get a like or whatever.
Yes.
Enjoy that, because you're not always going to have that.
Yeah, those moments are fleeting for sure. So I think they're definitely little things to be cherished.
All right, how about this? What's the biggest feeling you have right now? I can tell you mine immediately. Dread, apprehension.
Oh, the craft challenge
fear.
Isn't that bad,
No,
Jeff?
it is. That's when I read this, I went, well, it's that, because I am so.
What is, again, with my clay, what's the worst that happened? You messed up a piece of mud? Oh, no.
Well, it goes back. It goes back.
dry.
You said it earlier. You said we can't what is it? You can't be good at something for the first time. But my brain doesn't work that way. My brain expects whatever I do, okay? Pulling weeds, doing a craft, to be at least halfway decent. And I'm just not sure my craft's going to be halfway decent.
Well, it's a good learning experience
so
for
that's
you,
my
then.
biggest feeling right now.
Really?
It really is.
Okay.
I am very anxious. How many words do you want me to throw in there?
I feel like this will be a good exercise for you.
It'll be good.
It's not that big of a deal, Jeff.
I know, but I'm just answering the question.
Okay. Well, you rate it again for me.
What's the biggest feeling you have right now?
There's just honestly, there's an underlying sense of loneliness that is just a current throughout my life, Jeff.
Aw.
You know that I lost somebody recently, not to death. They're just not in my life anymore. I just want to clarify that. Alive, happy, probably, I'm assuming, and I hope so. But yeah, just I miss that person. I'd like to have that person back. So that's just kind of a undercurrent that has been happening for about a month now.
You know what's really interesting about that, and I think we all relate to this. There are certain things, certain seasons in our life and certain instances that happen that no matter who the people are around you, and no matter how close they are, they can't fill that hole.
Yeah.
And that's where I've even told you, as long as you and I've known each other, I wish there was something I could do, but it's just one of those sense that you can't. And so I just have to keep being me and, making you laugh at fart jokes and stuff.
That's all anybody could do. It's good to feel feels about people. Yeah, it's good. I mean, you want people to care about you specifically and have feels about you specifically. And that's okay that other people can't take them away. I guess feelings are good. People keep telling me this. But yeah. Loneliness, sadness.
I don't keep telling you that they're good. I just tell you you're allowed your feelings is what I say.
Yeah, I'm trying to just let them be. They're going to happen. Ugh, this is terrible.
How I really feel.
There's freaking feelings all over the place. Who needs them? Who needs them, Jeff?
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, sorry for giving you all of those big feels about crafts, but I think it's going to be good for both of us. And we are both going to face the judgment of somebody that we respect and we don't know super duper well, but we're
hoping to learn more about.
Yes, and we're hoping she'll be generous with this judging.
Hoping this will give you a hint. Weather permits that she's available.
Oh, ooh, good tease, Jeff.